Hello, Actor Sage here on the Sage channel, and I'm back for more Singular Survival. Now, what was probably pretty obvious for any of the previous Singular Survival episodes is that I had recorded them quite some time ago. In fact, I'd say at this point it was maybe 2 months past. So, today, and I'll actually go ahead and give you guys the exact date, that way you can know when this bulk was recorded, the 20th of March, is when I'm going to record this bulk, and I'm going to try to avoid the mistakes I've made in the previous bulk when it comes to my stability, let's say. The previous bulk I recorded, and I'd started recording when I was in a rather foul mood, as was apparent. This time, I'm not in the worst mood ever, even though I do have quite a bit of jungle swing going through my head this morning. But I'm also going to only record for maybe 2-3 hours instead of the 5 to 6 hours I recorded last time, which led to maybe a little bit extra loopiness than we would have liked. Anyway, I'm also going to go ahead and fly up here and select these hydrogen thrusters and shut them off. Oops, we're going to have to do it from, I guess, a control somewhere, yeah, like right here, and shut these off because somebody told me that they do actually use hydrogen. Let's just do thrust. There we go. Okay, we only got 3 of them, but we're actually going to just go ahead and shut them off for the time being. In fact, we should select all these, even the ones that aren't complete, and just shut them off. That way, as they're completed, they're not going to be just burning hydrogen while sitting there. What else do we have? Well, people are also saying, hey, I've lost a lot of hydrogen. Let's see, have I actually lost a lot of hydrogen? I believe I did, didn't I? Did I murder this tank? No, it's still got a fair amount in it, but of course it has burned down some, I guess, just from the silly thrusters sitting there. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to transfer any hydrogen out of this, so we are just going to lose all this, but now that we have a mining ship, it shouldn't be such a terrible shame, because we can simply take that mining ship and go over to the big ice fields over there, and it looks like the sun is just coming up, so we can actually see said ice fields. Nifty, nifty, nice and nifty. So, we'll be able to go ahead and grab as much ice as we need to get ourselves a bunch of hydrogen. And, do we actually have a hydrogen generator? I think we were putting in 4 of them, weren't we? Yeah, we got 1 here, none there. There should be another functional one here, yes. People were also saying, man, that's not going to be enough to, Sorry, I thought that was like just 30 meters away. I was like, what? Did they spawn something new? People were also saying that those 4 hydrogen or oxygen generators would not be enough to produce enough hydrogen to keep this ship aloft. I have to agree with you. Their main idea is just to keep these hydrogen tanks stocked up. I don't actually intend to use hydrogen exclusively in the long term. Just enough to fill up these tanks, get us into the atmosphere, and then maybe back down once. Once we're up in space, we're going to be using a bit of hydrogen to maneuver this ship about, but eventually we want to get to ion thrusters and not have to worry about all the troubles. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of resources here. Pardon me, little wolf drone. There we go. Thank you very much for your sacrifice. Hey, some computers. What else? So I guess since I've explained most everything, we can go ahead and get on with our actual constructing and building today. First and foremost, I'm noticing that there's no sound. So we're going to go ahead. Audio, up that a bit. Now you can barely hear that in the background. 1 second here. Already up my audio quite a bit there. Yeah, it's actually about halfway up now, so they seem to have changed the audio. They've been tweaking about with all this stuff for quite some time. Also, I remember in the previous update these were sort of red now, but they're back to blue apparently. Maybe that was just a mod somebody had on the server I was playing on. Anyway, let's go ahead and head over to, I guess, just let's see what we need to get these up and running. So probably getting our refineries up and running is one of the most important things we could possibly do. And it looks like currently it's just a bunch of steel plates, and we have more than enough steel plates. So let's just, well, I'd say grab them all, but unfortunately that's not really going to be reasonable. Let's go ahead and grab our welding ship, the Flying Sausage, and hoppy-doppy-doppy into our odd little cockpit. Check our inventory here. Flying Sausage has that many. Oh, it's a cockpit actually. Where is the sausage's cargo? We could probably search the word main if memory serves. And then we have to get past all the orange. There we go. Down here. We got 2,000 something. We're going to need a lot more of that though. So we're just going to search steel plates here. That should get us, yep, main cargo container 1. And we're just going to go ahead and transfer about 10,000 of those sons of guns there. That didn't quite take them all, but took enough so we can get moving. And we'll work on getting those other little things up and running. Let's also go ahead and check our reactors, because we don't want a repeat of that rather terrible incident where our reactors ran out. Oh, right, it's showing us reactor components. But yeah, there we go. We got 28 in each. That's more than enough. And then this one here, I believe, is the mining ship where we got 12 in there. Pretty damn nifty. Let's actually, while we're at it, go ahead and check our refineries. And they're still refining away a bunch of materials. Very nice and nifty. You see this here, this terrible sound. I might turn down my audio just a bit, because that audio of hitting all these menus, that's a bit annoying. It's a bit loud. Unfortunately, we might not be able to hear all the machinery working at this point, but it's driving me mad hearing this little click, click, click of mousing over everything. So, might not have much of a game sound. If that's the case, well, I don't know. Unfortunate that is. It still seems like it's all a bit unbalanced. Okay, I've unlocked the ship. We're moving us forward. We're still floating. We need to go ahead and build up another reactor in this thing, actually, don't we? I've remembered all the reactor overpowering trouble we've got, because right away I'm seeing a bunch of warning overloads. And we got a fair amount of uranium now, so there's not really any harm in worrying about splitting uranium between another container. So what we're going to do is see what we actually need to finish that. We don't need you here. Finish that last reactor. I'll just squeeze through here. I think I can get through here, can't I? If I just lay on my back and fly upwards? Isn't that how this works? Didn't I build this as such? Maybe I didn't. And now I feel like I'm stuck like a fool. Let's try through right here. Nope. No, that's not working. Let's see. Oh, right. I cut out a few of these thrusters here. And people were saying, Sage, you need to cut down on the thrusters. I might. The ship is kind of a finicky mess, ain't it? The sausage. But hey, it's got to be the sausage. It's got to be slightly round-like. If nothing else, I still want to get at least like these front and back thrusters fully welded up, and maybe stick a few more downwards thrusts. And we still need sideways thrust. That way we can stop ourselves from drifting. Anyway, let's see. This is the one that looks like it's close to being completed. We only need about 89 more reactor components. That should be easy enough. We also need to go ahead and grab a hydrogen tank, because we're about to fall out of the air. Hydrogen tank. There you go. So we'll grab 2 of those. In fact, let's grab, oh no, not one that's almost empty. Let's grab 3 of those. And I think I just put, a few of those just into a hydrogen tank. Whoops, we'll just leave them there for the time being. But then let's go ahead and grab some reactor components. Yeah, there's almost enough. Where are we missing? Oh, we're run out. But didn't we cut down that large reactor that was over there? Shouldn't that have given us enough? Oh, I bet you they're actually inside. I don't know, if they were inside this ship, we would have just gotten them. Anyway, let's see how far off this leaves us, and then we'll do another search. So there we go, that's about, ooh, what is that, 29 off? No, that's a little bit more than that. Let's see, one more search for reactor components. No such luck. And of course, since this is connected, it's going to search the whole facility. Let's go ahead and go to production and just see what we need to actually build some reactor components here. What are we missing? Well, I remember us gathering silver in the past, so maybe silver will be enough. Oh, and this is an incomplete one, so we're going to go to number 4. And go ahead and see what you're saying you're missing. So now it says we're missing iron. Out of all things, iron. So that should be pretty easy to find. If memory serves, there is an iron deposit area over there. So let's just go ahead and grab our little mining ship, this oddity that it is. Hop in here. Really quickly, let's go ahead and actually check its let's disconnect it. Fly it back, check its cargo containers just to make sure they all drained. Good, they did. Making sure we still got that uranium. We do. And unfortunately, the light still has an agonizing glare that, I mean, you can't see anything. It would make sense that if the light was hitting the connector that we got in front, you'd see a glare off that. But not so much that the light, when you're standing behind it, would be causing this huge glare. With the exception of if the atmosphere was very, very dense, I guess. Unfortunately, I don't believe it's actually set up as such. Okay, so that's silicon. We don't need that. I think the iron deposit was out here. Again, very hard to see thanks to that massive glare, so we're going third person. Iron. Ah, we got iron under us here. Aha, there's the big iron deposit that we've been mining years past. So we'll go ahead and do our usual number 2 to take control over the other, what do you call it, remote control block in the back, and let's go ahead and mine ourselves up some iron, shall we? And we'll press number 3 just to get this going, and hopefully we'll be cautious not to overload this ship with weight, as it did happen at least once with us. There we go. We'll just start mining away, and hopefully not take too long. I kind of do wish that, since third person really is quite the odd cheat anyway, I kind of wish you could go third person while remote control. At the same time, it is cool, the idea that, hey, you got to make sure you put cameras in while remote controlling to actually, I'll make sure you can control everything. Now, of course, I could probably rejig this ship a little bit, that way the remote control isn't upside down, which would help a little bit with switching between actually flying the ship and mining. But at the time, I don't think it's really worth the time it would take to cut it open and make sure I don't break anything else in the process. So we're just going to leave it as is and just keep mining as we are. Now I find myself wondering here, see there's a bunch of rock stones here, you know, bits of just iron sitting there. If I was to go and fly up to these, you can see some of them there, they just vanish. I'm unaware that I have to ask myself, basically, is the ship actually picking these up, or is it simply destroying them? I can assume it's picking them up, considering the drills, of course, usually remove material and grab them at the same time. So I'm just assuming if it's touching those rock bits, it's picking up. But I've never actually sat around and done a direct test of that. Anyway, what's our mass at? We're at, 123 kilograms. Which that's over kilograms. What's happening? Whoa. Where's my frame rate gone? Looks like that old glitch might have returned. The fancy old... Come on, we might be in trouble here. Okay, let's press number 3. Press number 3, it's not working. Press number 3. Press number 3. Press number 3. Oh, Lord God in heaven. There we go. Escape actually worked. Options, display, and let's go to window. Boop. And let's say no, we don't want to keep those changes. And there we go, our frame rate's gone back up to 60. Yeah, that's a very annoying thing that really do not understand that one bit. Alright, so we're at 123 kilograms, or 123,000 kilograms. Can we go forward? Okay, so we can hover upwards. I'm going to get us some height here and just try to level this up and see if we weigh too much to actually do this. Okay, cool. Okay, we are going down some. That's bad. That means we've actually... the ship weighs too much for it to actually keep itself aloft if it's aiming at the normal flight pattern. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, well, first and foremost, let's hop in here and just turn off those drills so we're not just flying around with those. I have tool shake disabled, so it's not too bad. Also, it looks like we're in a spot of bother where this stupid thing is set to throw blocks out. Because we turned that to throw out stone earlier, but we didn't have any sorter, so I guess maybe our cargo containers got full up, and what's happened now is that this was still just, well, it filled up with stuff as well, and then of course was just spitting it out. What we're going to want to do is not grab the iron that I just grabbed, whoops, we're going to want to grab the stone, and unfortunately it looks like we're in a real spot of bother here. Cockpit, here, hold this stuff for me, would you? Cool. Let's go ahead and grab that stone out of here and just drop it, as we did before, because we could of course tell us to throw up, but it's got other stuff in it right now, so of course it'll just be throwing out the iron, and we don't want that. There we go. And let's look, we've got a little bit more stone here in this other container, throw that out. Any more stone in here we can just get out and cut up down on our weight a little bit. No, not really. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and fly this back to base and try to dock it, shall we? Unfortunately, we might end up in a spot of bother, and it's going to be a bit difficult to fly it back to base, because, of course, yeah, I'm having to fly it... I'm facing this way right now, my control scheme, so it's a bit of a faff. I'm just, you know, as I showed earlier, if I turn like this... Oh, it's working now. Nope, we are sinking. We're very slowly sinking, so it's not exactly ideal. What we can do, though, is fly back to base at an angle like this, I think, and that should probably work excuse me, burp attack, reasonably well. Or not. Or we're just going to lose this ship instantly. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, so yeah, clearly we've run into a spot of bother where I have overburdened this ship, unfortunately, and I really need to just go ahead and unload some of that stone by hand before we can even begin to think about rotating this ship around and docking it properly. I could, of course, maybe have had some sort of special docking mechanism so I could dock it to the bottom of the ship as well from here, but no such luck with that. We could try to be finicky here and really quickly just aim down and lock this, but I don't think I want to take the risk. It's too dangerous, so we'll just go ahead and manually unload as much of this iron as we can. until we drop our mass down to a place where maybe we'll be alright. I double-clicked and I expected to see it in the other connector for a second, but it just instantly disappeared. Hopefully it's gone to the refineries. Let's go ahead and just search refinery. Okay, yep, it went straight in there. Cool. Cool. Just making sure. And this stone, we gotta make sure we get rid of this. This is stupid. Alright, I can't take any more until I empty this. But this is such an agonizing thing, having stone in any of our systems, because we pretty much don't need it. I mean, we might need a little bit for those reactor components, but we probably already have enough gravel, so I doubt it. Anyway, let's just go ahead and see. Let's take out a little bit more here. I think we're getting, yeah, 2K each pole. And now we can go ahead and check to see. Oh, it actually stayed there for a second this time instead of instantly getting pulled. Well, let's check and see what our weight is now if we were to hop in this, or our mass. So now instead of 123,000, we're just at 115. Oh my god, that's terrifying. I accidentally hit S. Let's go ahead, hover ourselves up a little bit, and aim forward just to see if we start falling again. Looks like we're at a point now where we almost break even. We're still sinking a little bit. Let's just hover up, and now that we know we can pretty much hover without issue, we can dock the ship properly. What we're going to need to do, I guess, is honestly build up a few more... what's those things you're looking for? Thrusters. And go ahead and basically make it so we're not going to fall like this. And move ourselves to the left and line ourselves up. And we've missed it. Scheiße. Come on. If I could only go up a little bit. Oh, this is a finicky, annoying thing, ain't it? Come on, lock. Okay, well, we've missed it now. Right, we're gonna have to keep unloading by hand. I'm just gonna go ahead and, well, save you seeing me doing this for half an hour. It just hit me that this is turned off because I was trying to stop it from throwing stuff out. So we can just go ahead and turn that back on. We probably can actually dock this now. Oh, Lord God. Yeah, the things you sometimes forget. Oh, right, now, look, I unload a little bit more so we can actually fly up. So now it should be not such a pain in the arse. I do like the way this ship looks, its oddity. And I missed. There we go, cool. Lock. Awesome. And now it should have gone ahead and drained pretty much everything almost instantaneously if memory serves. So let's press P again. Yep, we're down to 43,000 kilograms now. Much, much lighter. Cool. So that's all of the iron that we had dropped off. Just making sure. Let's redock it again. That was a football, wasn't it? Just forgetting that I turned off that connector. Of course, I was sort of panicking when it was throwing stone out on top of the ship. But now that we got all that iron, we can go up here. We didn't even really need to come up here, but I always feel like I need to get near this stuff for some reason. Let's go ahead and switch our refinery over to actually refining that. Well, I'd say refining the iron if it would let me, but it's apparently not letting me switch these positions in the top one here. I guess because the inventory is just about full, it's like, oh no, you need the extra space to shift these in order. Bit of a nuisance. Let's just try to break this stack down, shall we? Oh, can't even break it down. Let's find another refiner that's working on something then and just try to split it a little bit there. So let's move 20,000 over here. Yep, it let me do it. And let's move that to... Okay, you're just being a bit annoying today, aren't you? Not letting me switch orders on most of these. You are getting on my nerves, system. Getting on my nerves. Can I split this to like 4 there and then shift it? Aha, it worked for half a millisecond. What I can do is put 4 there, and then probably shift this stack to there. Ha! And now this is in front. That is very finicky. But it's worked, and now we're getting iron, so now we can go back to production. Select assembler 4, and now... Hey, there we go. So we can go ahead and build up the, I believe it was 30-something more that we needed. I think earlier it was like 34, but we'll queue up 40. A few excess should not hurt, as long as our supplies don't instantaneously run out. What else? It looks like it's thinking we're going to run low on silver. If memory serves, our refineries should be cooking up silver in one of these at the very least. There we go. AG, silver ore. And then this is not cooking silver. I thought it was. It's SI for silicon. Anyway, though, we do have silver cooking in one. Let's see if our production is able to finish the components we need. I think it has most definitely done so. So let's go ahead to reactor components. There we are. Most definitely finished them. And now we can go ahead and ensure that our construction-deconstruction ship should not be overloading every 2 milliseconds anymore. There we go. And of course, we're going to have to go ahead and move stuff into it. So let's just sit right here. So we have a bit of a platform. There we are. And go ahead and new reactor. So we can just do reactor. Any reactor that's not a different color should be fine. Reactor 3. No. Reactor 2. There it is. Cool. And in fact, that should even narrow it down a little bit more because we want to be able to just take one of these and manually split it. There we go, 15 into there. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That is pretty nifty. Now we're going to move about 7 of these over just so they're a bit more evened out between them all. Don't want them one to run out as we had happened before. Cool. So now this ship shouldn't have so many power issues. Let's go ahead and check it and see if that is the case. After I drop off some stuff here. So main cargo container. Drop those 5 off. That one's steel plate because I don't think we needed it. We'll just keep our hydrogen tanks as is. Yeah, cool. Unfortunately, like I've said in previous episodes, you can't see my mouse because Fraps just does not record your mouse in this program in Space Engineers. No matter how hard I try, no matter what settings I turn on and off, there's still no dice on being able to see thy mouse in this game. Okay, and big old test. Let's go ahead and press P. Dink. Ship is flying on its own, and we're no longer getting overloads when just moving. Even 3 directions, I'm going to the right, forward, and up. No overloads, so that's pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Okay, cool. Pretty damn cool, okay, cool. Right.